Welcome.
Thank you. I've got a little bit of a different presentation than has been going on at the event. I hope that's okay. I'm not a researcher, I'm not a scientist, but this has been extremely enlightening, and I really appreciate everything I'm learning and the work that you all do for me and my community. So it was September 28th, 2008, and I had been out drinking and partying like most nights my freshman year of college when I woke up to my phone ringing and vibrating down by my leg. I swam through the soft sheets to find my hard phone with the bright screen that read 4:47 a.m. and my best friend Chucker was calling me. Now I remember having the conscious choice that I could either answer the phone like I always do with, "Hey, what's up, Chuck?" Or I could answer the way I was feeling with, "Hello?" And in my still drunken state, I chose the latter, to which a soft voice replied, "Hey, what's up? Why are you calling me this late?" "I was just calling to say hi." "Don't call me this late again." And I hung up on him. He shot himself. For nearly a decade, I was unable to share that phone call with anyone, as I bottled it down deeper and deeper with drugs and alcohol. Drugs and alcohol were no longer a way to party and have fun. Drugs and alcohol had become my solution to life, which led me all the way to November 6th of 2015. I had just left my then girlfriend's house and was on my way to the hotel I was staying at. But first, I had to try this new street drug called China White. I put it in my arm like I always did, and at first I was upset because I couldn't feel anything. Thought it was bunk. But this is body cam footage of the Laurel Police Department at the stop sign of First and First, where they found my lifeless body slumped over the steering wheel. You would think an event like this would be enough to make you stop using drugs. But I couldn't stop. And my disease continued to progress, finding myself homeless, 86th from the homeless shelter, so I was super homeless. And I was unable to stop using these drugs. And all the traditional relapse prevention methods were thrust on me by my new mentor that was given to me by the state. Some people called him my probation officer. I was going to cognitive behavioral therapy classes at the halfway house. I was doing outpatient treatment at the treatment center, and I was giving 3 UAs a week. And then on my own, without the direction of my mentor, I was going to 12-step meetings every day, Bible studies every Tuesday, church every Saturday and Sunday, and I even went to the local MMA gym thinking they might be able to bait recovery into me. But nothing was working. And my disease continued to progress, and I thought I was going to be sent to prison for 5 years because I couldn't get clean. But after having what I think you all call a profound religious experience, and with the help of a few close friends, and hearing one man's story on YouTube, I found recovery on November 6, 2017, and I've been clean and sober since. Thank you. For the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share with you how these little devices that we find in our pockets are becoming the way that we can not only connect with each other, but we can build community. We can help each other from countries away, and we can recover together. So I had this idea right around actually 5 years ago and 5 years and 2 weeks ago, that if I was to publish my story into a book, I would be able to help other people hear this story, and they would be inspired to share their stories. And these stories collectively would start to help each other find recovery. And on November 6, 2019, I published my book, From Chains to Saved, One Man's Journey Through the Spiritual Realm of Addiction, and it became a bestseller. And it's now been in the hands of over 10,000 people around the world. And what this did, while I was trying to get this out to people, was it got me to use social media. as a way to reach out to addicts, as a way to show them that this dude that they saw homeless, they saw me 148 pounds. I'm 220 right now. That's what I was at. They saw me trying to get clean, and then I come out with this. And then exactly 30 days after publishing this, I was at a conference in San Diego, California, when a man I had never met before came up to me with a copy of my book, handed it to me, and said, "Bro, your book changed my life. I have 3 weeks clean. Will you sign it for me?" This is Israel, and he's still clean to this day. Messages and emails were coming in from all over the world, and seeing the impact my book could have on people, my story could have on people. And I don't have the craziest story or the best story that I've heard. I've heard a lot of recovery stories that are way more impactful than mine. So I started coaching and training other people in recovery to write and publish books, to share their stories on podcasts, to do things on social media, to let people know that are out there struggling that recovery is possible. You'd be surprised how many people have messaged me on Facebook telling me they've never heard of the 12 steps. "Hey, Adam, I'm using 300 milligrams of oxycodone per day. Do you think I have a problem?" That's kind of a joke, but also she ended up finding recovery. So, and then I started making videos. I started studying how to attract people to these videos. What is it about these videos that's going to make people not only watch them, but know that I'm reachable? And I know someone was talking about Johan Ari. Johan Ari and Kerwin Ray are two people that inspired this to happen before I even was clean. Because when his TEDx talk came, or his TED talk came out, I emailed him in 2016 while I was still using every single day. You know what he did? He emailed me back. And he showed me that I matter too. And that's what I found with social media. I get to make these videos that, this video of my testimony on YouTube has 750,000 views. And the amount of people that have messaged me for help or messaged me about their son or their daughter, or 2/3 of American adults have somebody in their life right now that is struggling with addiction that they love and they're connected with. And if that's the case, one video with 750,000 views, that's what? Carry the two, someone tell me, 500,000 about? And then this short little video, this police officer, and here's the thing, this police officer right here, he went viral by showing people, he made this little clip for people to do these, I don't know what, duets with, where he says, when you see people you arrested, get clean. And then a whole community came in and we did these little duets telling our stories next to this cop about and I'm getting chills right now. Because I remember when I made this video and the amount of people that were like, "This is so cool. I remember when I was arrested, I have recovery, all that." And it just, people like me don't think that we're going to recover when we're in it. I thought I was going to die in addiction. And when I found that, when I had that, oh my gosh, it's like this, your mind is going this way one day. Like, when am I going to use? How am I going to stay stopped? All of this. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I don't want it. When I realized that, I knew it was my life's purpose to help as many people find that as possible. So, if that's your purpose, then the first thing you have to do, you got to make memes, because memes are the best thing on social media. I have no idea why some of them work and some of them don't. That's a little bit of a joke, but like, giving up is not an option in my book. I rise, I fall, I rise again. Why does that connect with so many people? Where 33,000 people want to share it. Focus on you, you've done enough for the ungrateful. 175,000 people wanted to share this. And I want to let you know that this is years of consistency. I started the page 5 years ago, post multiple times every single day, constantly doing memes and videos, and every single person that has ever messaged my page, I personally messaged them back because of what Johan did and what Kerwin did. Because they showed me, like, I'm just an addict. I shouldn't even be here. For the opportunity to message somebody back that's where I was at and have something to give them. And we all want to. Every single person in recovery wants to help other people find recovery. And now we have this crazy means where we can reach as many as 50 million people in a month. So I also did this thing called the Recovered on Purpose show. Hashtag I do interviews with people. So reach out. But the Recovered on Purpose show is a live video podcast that I would do 5 days a week. And I would always invite people to talk to me to, build this community, message in, things like that. And I would always tell people that if you're struggling and you're watching this and you're not commenting in, message me privately. I would love to help you. This is Amy. And she was on one of these shows, and I shouted her out publicly because she was in her first 30 days. And, we celebrate with each other. That's part of how we, build community and we have this peer recovery. And afterwards, she messaged me and she was just excited to be a part. She was like, she couldn't believe that I shouted her out on the show. And it's so interesting. And I don't really know the science behind it. Some of you may be able to figure it out, but a Facebook page with a few 100,000 followers or whatever is still run by this homeless drug addict. I don't see myself as that anymore, but I don't see myself above anybody. But for some reason, when they message me, they feel empowered to recover. I don't know. I mean, I love it. I love it because I watch a lot of people recover. And then a few months later, she messages me about some things that she's struggling with in her recovery and some family stuff, some house stuff, and we talk through it together and we make it through it together. And this is the message she sent me when she got her first year of recovery. Using this content strategy, personally messaging every single person that ever messages me and talking with them. And I don't have, Recovered on Purpose is a self-funded nonprofit. Never made a dollar off of it. I love the work and I get so blessed by the work. I get to do other things over here. And doing this work, I've been able to help well over 1,000 people find recovery. Thank you. And what's really beautiful about doing this on social media versus, and I don't claim membership of any 12-step fellowship. However, I do this work one-on-one in person with people that need it. And also, the social media gives me the opportunity to help a lot of people at once. And what's beautiful about it is that every single one of these people on here and a lot of people that are on the page, we connect. We connected years ago. And they'll message me every few months or something like that. We'll talk about things going on. Kind of like our friend Israel, who decided to do a new health journey when he wanted to lose some weight, get strong, work out in his backyard. And from my cell phone, I remember commenting on this photo, "Bro, looking amazing." And he replied, and he said, "Love you, bro. It all started when I read your story. It changed me, and I'm still changing for the better." 3.5 years later, after he read my book, he still credits it for this. And remember how I said it's one man's story on YouTube that changed my life. I was in the 12-step rooms for 7 years, and I couldn't get 30 days together. 7 years. I heard one man's recovery story on YouTube, and in this age, I was able to Google him and find his home phone number at 11:47 p.m., 12:47 p.m. his time, called him. He called me back the next day, and I've been sober, clean and sober since. But there's a new way that we can connect with social media than just the phone. And I've talked to people and helped people share their stories about the worst kind of child abuse, about the traumatizing things that nobody wants to let other people know they went through because they feel like it's their most shameful part. But with this work, we're able to turn that shame into our superpower to help other people. Because I can tell you right now that there is someone out there struggling right now that has a hidden thing that they went through in their childhood that when they hear Crystal on a podcast, they're going to think, wow, I'm not alone. I didn't go through some of those things, but we each have a unique and special story. And I believe that every single person in recovery, their story has someone out there struggling right now that will not get sober if they don't hear their story. There's a lot of people struggling. And I also got to, and just to be clear, everybody with their names on here signed, said everything they want to be shown, all of their HIPAA. It's all good. But I have one on here I had to black out because it's brand new. He messaged me back in 2021, and this message is for Adam. You don't even have to answer me back. These are the kind of messages. They don't expect somebody to message them back because of, you know. And then he just got 2 years. And this was last Sunday. And this is the kind of stuff that just happens over and over and over and over and over. We're talking about, and when somebody messages Recovered on Purpose, I'm not like, okay, you need to go to Passages Malibu. Let me get you a flight, I start with questions. I start with understanding. What is your story? What are you struggling with? What have you tried in the past? Because maybe somebody just needs to get to a 12-step meeting. I've talked to somebody where I was really direct with him. You had 12 years in the 12-step program? Get your butt up. You know exactly what you got to do. He hasn't drank since. And something that is really interesting about this room, you are all in this line of work for a reason, for a very specific reason. Something either you had a desire to help this specific community, you went through something yourself. That's a superpower to help us. Not just the process. It's not the process. It's understanding. And I've heard a lot of genuine care come from this microphone this week. And that's what really gets us connected, knowing why you're in it. All right, now, again, if you, so I'm writing another book, and this one, I want to bring in as many ideas, and I wasn't going to do this here, but literally earlier today, I was like, dude, I should ask some of these guys because I'm doing a section where we are going to interview experts in the field with different modalities, different things that are working, so I can let people know about, because my thought process is I don't care what's going to make it so that somebody doesn't die. I'm for MAT. I'm for harm reduction. Anything that we can do. So Recovered on Purpose on the right, contact me if you want to do an interview. On the left, we also do consulting marketing for treatment centers. This is not the, I don't know if it's the audience or not, but we can help with everything. So love you all. Thank you.